A great method to use to know when your dough is strong enough and you should stop doing stretch and folds is the window pane test. This is something you can do before every single stretch and fold to determine the strength of your dough. And the more you do this, the more you will learn what your dough feels like and looks like along the process, and you'll eventually learn when your dough is strong enough to stop. I mixed up this double loaf this morning. It's been resting for about 10 minutes, but I want to show you what your dough looks like at the beginning of your window pane testing. Now, you don't need to do the window pane test at this point, but it is a good way for you to start to learn how your dough feels as it builds gluten. So this dough has been resting for about 15 minutes, and you just want to stretch it out until you can see through the dough, but it shouldn't tear easily. The dough is done resting, so just do another window pane test so you can see how your dough is changing just by getting a rest and letting that water hydrate into that flour. Before we do our second set of stretch and folds, we're going to do the window pane test again so we can get to know our dough and what it feels like as it gets stronger. So you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to grab it, pull up, and stretch. And I can feel how much tighter this dough is, and you can see it's not breaking apart as easy. Here it is. So let's do our window pane test again. Now, I usually do 4 of these, 4 sets of stretch and folds, but I have been resting a little bit more than 30 minutes today because I've been doing other things. And as you can see, this dough actually feels pretty good. So I might not do a 4 set, but I'll decide that after the rest of this set. We'll do another window pane test and see where we're at. Okay, it's been another 30 minutes. My dough is already getting fluffy and bulk fermenting very fast because it is warm here today. Despite it being November in Massachusetts, it's almost 80 degrees today. So I'm going to show you the window pane test, but I am not going to do any more coil folds. So once again, we're just going to pull it up, and I can feel that this dough is really tense and strong. And as you can see, it's really not falling apart. So that's it. My dough is strong enough. I'm not going to keep playing with it. We're going to let it sit on the counter and bulk ferment now. So I encourage you to keep trying the window pane test. It will really teach you what your dough feels like in each different stage of your dough making process and how much tighter your dough gets as you go along. Over time, with the window pane test, you will learn when your dough is strong enough to be done with stretch and folds.